Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another beautiful day here on Adventures with Sarah. And I am coming to you live from my basement because it's 112 degrees outside in Seattle today. So we are going to celebrate hot weather this week by taking you somewhere that is normally hot, but actually knows how to deal with the heat. So all week we are going to be covering Vietnam, which is a destination that I have toured before. I've taken a group there before. And we're going to be learning all this week about a culture maybe that you don't know very much about. So this morning we are going to do coffee chat with a co-host. My co-host this morning is Reed Cohen. Good morning, Reed.
Good morning, everybody.
And then coming to us live from Vietnam from later tonight, because I think right now it's late at night for him on Tuesday, is our friend Bon Can. Good morning, Bon.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
It's so nice to see you.
I feel so great to see you too.
Yeah. So tell me, is it as hot in Vietnam as it is here in Seattle?
Throughout the country, it's so hot. Yeah, I would describe it as scorching, like any other summer. It's already scorching with heat, and yeah, the temperature over here is around 105 Fahrenheit. So it's normal, but it's quite unpleasant at the moment.
Well, the fact that it's normal, that's good to know, so that those of us who are not used to it, you can teach us some tips on how to stay cool. Yeah. I've got the first tip I think you'd give us, which is iced coffee. So that's the first way, I think.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I love iced coffee. So yeah. That's what
with condensed milk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a reminder.
If you come over here, I can make very nice condensed coffee with condensed milk with ice for you. Now I am an expert of those kind of coffee.
Because you own a coffee shop now, is that right?
Yeah, that is my backup plan for quiet time for lockdown of COVID because of the downturn of tourism. So that's our backup plan.
And how's it going? How's the coffee going?
Yeah, good. First, coffee shop bring me a lot of fun. We grow some roses, some flowers around, and a lot of people who love rose who come to our coffee shop, take photos, and we develop quite many friendships through business. So it's very relaxing. Yeah, a lot of lady coming down because they love roses. So unfortunately, because of super high heat and intense sunshine, so the roses is not at its best at the moment. We spray a lot of water, but we cannot save some tree from drooping.
Yeah, no, I did the same thing last night. I watered my roses for like an hour last night, so hopefully they'll make it. But so Reed, you've been in Vietnam as well before. And when were you there last?
Let's see, Bon, I think that was 2015. Is that possible that it's been 5 years, 6 years?
No, I think 2016.
Was it? Okay, so good.
Yeah.
It makes me
feel just only one. Anyway, it's only 1 year difference.
About 5 years ago, I was there with Bon and with the group. So
in the before times, anything before 2020 is the before times, right?
Exactly. Right. Pre-pandemic, PP.
So for those of you watching, I think that Vietnam is a very misunderstood destination. And what I found in Vietnam was it's such an interesting and really diverse place. It's sort of like a lot of countries, has a north and a south. So actually you're, Von, now in the north, but almost kind of southern to the north, right? Hue is kind of halfway down the length of Vietnam, is that right?
Yeah, well, Hue is central Vietnam, halfway down the country. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was interesting when I was there how I very much saw the same thing that I see in almost every country that I visit when we talk about North versus South. So France, Italy, even Thailand, the North always seems to be kind of a place where it's hardworking and people are kind of reserved. And then you go south and it gets spicier as you go south. People get more outgoing. The lifestyle is a little more chaotic and all of that. Do you think that that's true about Vietnam?
Yeah, because Hanoi have 4 seasons. We got very cold winter, and the further south you get, you go down, it's a lot more warmer. And you see in any warmer country, people are a lot more outgoing, a lot more extrovert.
I didn't even think about it at the weather, but you're right. It could be the weather. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then we drink a lot more down here than Hanoi because it's so it's warmer. So it's a good reason to go out. Một hai ba Joe.
If it is the weather, then we need to test this theory in the southern hemisphere next time you're in Peru, Sarah, with a group, or and where else do we work in the southern hemisphere? Anyway, I'm going to be doing Patagonia in the spring. We'll have to check and see if the reverse is true, right? Because if it is a weather thing, that's what we should see. Okay, who knows?
It could be. So just kind of to talk about just what it is that people can do in Vietnam. So if you're not familiar with Vietnam, as we said, you go from the north to the south, and in the north there's Hanoi, in the south there's Saigon. But around the north, the background that Reed actually has was a place that I thought was kind of interesting because it almost reminded me a little bit of the Pacific Northwest where I live, and that's Ha Long Bay. So Reed, what did you think of Ha Long Bay?
Well, I would say from a tourism perspective, this is the jewel in the crown. When I try to share with people what I think a trip to Vietnam is all about, honestly, it's about the people and the culture and the food, and is less site driven, I think, than a lot of other destinations. But having said that, you've got this one truly spectacular site, a natural site, and that's Ha Long Bay, which, as you pointed out, is what you see behind me. Sarah, you and I have both been to the southern Thailand, where you have the same geology. I've been lucky enough to be in Guilin in China, but Ha Long, I think, is the best example of this karst geology because it's in the water. It's such a spectacular venue, and then surrounded by spectacular caves as well. So it's for sure the number one site, tourist destination in I'm sure by volume of tourists, but also in my estimation of experience in all of Vietnam.
Yeah, and I think is that the number one thing that people ask to see, Bon, when they come and visit you in Vietnam?
That is only one of the first question. Hey, is it possible to go down to Ha Long Bay? Yeah, it is. I would say one word I love to say with is at Ha Long Bay. It is splendiferous.
Now you're sounding like our friend Chetan in India.
Which it surprises me that y'all don't know each other, but yeah.
Doesn't it seem like they should?
I know it does. It seems like they should know each other. In Ha Long Bay, when you go, you get on a boat and you basically spend the night, and you just kind of joyride around. It's just kind of cruising around. You can go swimming if it's warm enough. It wasn't warm enough to swim when I was there. I was there in I think January, February, but it's really beautiful. But I'm just curious, Bon, if you could just tell us what are the destinations overall in Vietnam that people generally ask for? Because Ha Long Bay is one. I'm sure Saigon or Mekong Delta is another. But what are the things that people most typically
there are various places. For the classic trip, people mention about like Hue. People like Hoi An, where the old ports, where Western trader, merchant from Spain, from Portugal, flock around 17th, 18th century. And some more adventurous, they ask about the trip to northwest of Vietnam, where live a lot of minor ethnic group, and the scenery is just breathtaking. And many parts still remain intact, still remain pristine, and people dress the same way they have been doing for hundreds of years. So, and 10, 15-day trip, we just cover the main sites such as Ha Long Bay, Hue, Hoi An, Saigon, Mekong Delta. If you want to explore more of the country, it's probably require a longer stay of 20 days.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people don't realize that there is enough to see in Vietnam to easily take you 3 weeks. I mean, you could even spend longer because we spent about 2 weeks, and I think that there were lots of things we could have spent more time on. Like I think the Mekong Delta area probably could have used more time. We didn't really get very much into the north beyond Halong Bay. But the one place that I liked probably more than the others, I know that everybody loves Hoi An, of course, because it's adorable and there's lots of cool touristy things to do. I loved where you live. I think Hue was probably my favorite place.
Oh, okay.
I really did.
Eh,
And I don't know what it was. There's something about that that I just
mm.
found really just visually stunning. I think all of the palaces and things like that of Hue.
And also one thing I would like to add, and I got very few chance to show people the opposite track of Hue. The spiritual life in Hue was amazing. It's amazing. It has so much link between the one who's staying and the one who has gone with the family, with ancestor.
Yeah.
I would love to send you soon some pictures of. I don't think there would be second place in the world like that. I wish I would have enough money to die in that way. Some grave in Hue. 20 years ago, even now, 20 years ago, someone was spent about 100,000 US dollars. And 20 years ago, 100,000 US dollars, you can buy any buildings in any house on Main Street in Vietnam. And now, if someone had invested $100,000 20 years ago, now he sell that property for a few million US dollars. And there are a couple of thousand graves like that, is many times bigger than my house. And with beautiful, decorated with very intricate, very meticulous, how can I say, mosaic. Yeah, it's just amazing. It blown my mind. Yeah, it strike me straight away when I get in there, and not only one or two. And I really like, the more I live in Hue, the more I like it, because I find a perfect balance between realistic, between secular life and spiritual life. Yeah. The life is quite slow here. I'm getting a bit older, so I prefer slow paced life.
Where were you before? Were you in Hanoi before?
Yeah, I lived in Hanoi for quite about nearly 20 years before I moved down here. I find Hanoi is exciting. All my best things there, like my best friend, my family, all my connection there. So it is a very big change for me to move down to Hue. But I think that I try to discover, I want to dig deeper into myself. So I said, okay, let's make a move. And sometimes I miss Hanoi because it's so vibrant and also all vibrant. And I built a lot of thing I do, a lot of thing I eat. It built in Hanoi already. It deep rooted in Hanoi. Now moving down here, my accent is totally different. And yeah, and it took me, I struggle a fair bit to understand Hue accent. And I have to speak much slowly with a Hanoi accent, because Hanoi accent and Hue ones like chalk and cheese. Yeah. So, but it's good for me. It's a very good move for me. So far, I enjoyed. I hope that I can one day I can have chance to receive you too, coming here to see me in Hue. And I want to show you more into the life of Hue people. I know a lot of people here now. We come to see the house, share the meal with them, and witness some of the spiritual ceremony. And a lot to see in Hue.
I
mountain.
think that might be why I loved Hue, was that when we were there, we did a couple of really special things. First of all, Hue is the imperial city, I guess you could say, right? That's where all of there's the citadel, but then there's also these tombs from different kings or emperors. Beautiful, beautiful sights. But what I thought was really special is we did two really neat things. One was we had that lunch at the Buddhist monastery, which was probably the best food we had on the whole tour. And then the other one was that you arranged a dinner at just the home of some locals, just some people, and they received
some farmer. They actually
a farmer. It was so Cool. And Luca was with me, my son, and he was littler, and he went out
Yeah.
and he played soccer with the kids, and we just
Yeah.
sat and we talked, and that was, I thought, one of the most magical things that we did on that tour. So I think you're right
Yeah.
on when you say, just letting people stay and get to know the locals is actually, for me, more interesting than any of the big sites that we might have seen anywhere else. What do you think, Reed?
Well, what I'm thinking when I'm hearing you talking right now is, number one, I'm a little jealous because when I was with Bon, we didn't do those things. But that's what a great example of how our tour program evolves. I go and do a tour, and we set things up, and then you come along with your group, Sarah, and you work closely with Bon, who now we've got a relationship with, and you can expand the palette. You can add, no pun intended, since we're talking about food, but to add things. That's what I was riffing on, was how cool that the tour evolved in that way. And now that's a part of our tour on a regular basis. So excellent.
Yeah, although Bon had a really good idea when I was in Hawaii, which we'll never do, but I thought it was a fabulous one, which was to do a scooter tour, put everybody give everybody their own scooter and go out and explore around Hawaii. I'm like, yes, I love that idea, but I'm sure our insurance company does not.
Hey, I'm the one with the liability coverage, Sarah. Stop talking. that will have to be the when you and I just go and visit Bon in Hawaii sometime, because
there you go.
Way, we have all these witnesses, all your followers, who heard him offer, so now he can't take it back.
and also we have plenty of room to live in now. We have total, we have over 100 room for rent. So already have some, we re-rent the government building. And so you got plenty of places to stay. You can bring the whole family along. We still can accommodate you. The family, the cousin come over, we still can accommodate you easily.
So one of the questions I think a lot of people who, when they think about Vietnam, Americans at least, they wonder, are Americans welcome in Vietnam? Because I know that I got that question a lot when I first offered that tour. People would message me and say, I see you're offering a tour to Vietnam, but are Americans welcomed? And I felt absolutely welcome there. So what do you think, Bon, is the general attitude towards Americans traveling?
If I say from my point of view, a lot of you would think that I am propagandist. I do propaganda for government, but this is a true story from my father, my uncle. My father was on Ho Chi Minh Trail for nearly 15 years, and he lost his younger brothers. But when I asked my father, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about war? What do you think about American? Do you hate them?" My dad said, "Okay, guys, all the loss we suffer, that the cost of independence and freedom, and the wars is over. And we cannot live with bitterness. We should not hold any grudge, because it's good for no one." And my father said, if you feel bitter, if you resentful, you have resentment, we are victim ourselves. So and American just here for 10 years only, and and previously we had deal with many other people. So when it was over, we close it, move on. We don't forget the past, but we close it, and we hope that the people come with chance to work together, make money, make the world a happier place. So we have so many tales, many idioms about forgiving, close the past. And between Vietnam and American, if you see that when Bill Clinton lift economic embargoes on Vietnam, and Vietnam said that, okay, Vietnam want to be friends with all the country around the world on a basic of mutual respect, mutual benefit, and no intervention into internal issue. So and now American is the biggest business partner of Vietnam. And we can see Recently, American government just offer Vietnam the Coast Guard ship, and now we can buy weapon from Vietnam, from USA. But we hope we don't have to use a weapon. So yeah, we just close the past, move on, and then the war is just something that we don't want to have it, and we hope that it's not happen. So in nutshell, if you come to my Vietnam, said where they come from, America, oh, welcome. Because we don't look back, because it's over. No one can change the past. Let's do better thing for future.
Yeah, no, I think that was very much the feeling that I got when I was there, that it just wasn't even an issue, being an American there. What is your feeling, Reed?
Absolutely. I'm nodding my head. That's exactly the feeling I got. I had my then 16 or 17-year-old daughter, and the only thing she knew about Vietnam was that there was a war. And that was her comment on the last night. Was what I learned is that Vietnam is a beautiful place with kind people and not just a war. That's what she said on the last night of the tour.
Yeah.
I think encapsulated it. If I can ask you a question, Bon, now that's what your dad taught you. Do you also, I'm guessing that must have been the general attitude of people across Vietnam because of what we were just talking about, Sarah and I, that you feel welcome there. Number one is that, do you agree that that's the case? And number two, do you think that's because Vietnam is primarily a Buddhist country? Because Buddhism is kind of live and let live. And what do you think?
Yeah, certainly Buddhism have a lot of impact, influence Vietnamese a lot. And the majority, as you see, majority of Vietnamese are Buddhist. And tolerance is one of the first things we learned. Tolerance, giving, smile, smile, laugh. So yeah, so I don't know, because it's just naturally we grow up, and we said, okay, no, it's over. So well, yeah, I agree with you, but I don't know how to reason, because we was born like that, we grew up like that. No hatred, it's over. And then like I mentioned earlier, no one can change the past. So why don't we look at a better future? And sometimes books and media can mislead many things. So if you want to see how Vietnamese people like, what Vietnam have to offer, come to Vietnam and you see what I said. I think I'm better doing than explaining. So come to Vietnam, you will see that what I just said is totally true. Yeah.
No, I would agree with that. The other thing that I've seen that's interesting is that Vietnamese people, I thought, were very, very friendly to Americans, and it's the same across Southeast Asia. Cambodia is the same. You talk to people in Cambodia, and I remember the first time I went to Cambodia, I actually asked our local guide, is there resentment against Americans? I feel like we're being welcomed, or is that only because of, our tourist dollars or whatever? But the feeling is always, no, the past is the past, and you didn't do that. You didn't cause a war. You're our friend, and we're so happy to meet you. And let me show you around. And I don't know, I've just always felt very welcomed everywhere that I've gone. So it's nice to hear that from a local as well. One little side note, though, that some people may not realize, Vietnam is still a communist country. And
it is.
Does that present any kind of problem for travelers, that it's still a communist country?
No, nothing. And so don't equate, please don't equate what you heard of North Korea to Vietnam, because Vietnam and North Korea are totally different thing. So yeah, almost free economy, a lot of private economy here, a lot of private company. We have a few guys on football list. Now they make they couple, I think 4 or 5 guys on the list of billionaire, and one of them is woman, self-made billionaire, first self-made billionaire in Southeast Asia, a Vietnamese girl, and she studied in Russia, and so communist is a party who lead the country. But yeah, it's the country very open up for very much open for foreign investment, and it's very easy to obtain a visa to Vietnam. Even now, you can do tour. You can do prior before pandemic. You can ask for e visa, tourist e visa to Vietnam. So very easy. You can take pictures everywhere, and yeah, as long as you don't say "Down Communist Party of Vietnam," no one do anything. I can take pictures with a soldier. I can take pictures with a police officer. You will smile with them. Nothing serious. Yeah. Don't burn our flag. Don't say "Down government." You can do whatever you like. Yeah. You can drink on the street. You can drink on the street. You can walk around all night long in any town of Vietnam. No violence happen. No, there's none xenophobia. Yeah, xenophobia doesn't exist in Vietnam. Did I say it right? Did I pronounce it right? Xenophobia. Okay. Yeah, very safe country, and I think it's I would not say the safest, but one of safest country to travel in Southeast Asia. Yeah. We never heard of any attack against foreigners in Vietnam. Yeah. Might be some snatch and run in Saigon, but pickpocket in the big places like in Saigon. But apart from it, there's no violence toward foreigners. And easy to travel. Solo travel. You can jump on local buses, train. You can do homestay now. Homestay very common in Vietnam. Yeah, some people even stop for a while, get a temporary job at a English teacher, and yeah, it's easy. Make some dollars and then on the move again. So very easy.
Yeah, it is. I think my feeling about it was I would have never known I was in a communist country, except for you could hear in the morning the announcements. So they have the speaker, and it just so happened my hotel room was right next to one of the speakers in Hoi An. So you get blasted with the party music, and then they make the announcements for the day. But other than that I wouldn't have. If I hadn't known, I wouldn't have even thought about it, because it just feels like
the loudspeaker system still exists in a smaller town, in a rural area. Yeah. So they try to, they for community service, such as for vaccination, vaccination for kids, cleaning up the area. They try to advise people, try to reduce even smoking, drinking. Yeah, a lot of things. It won't be long, but normally 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. And unfortunately, in the early morning, because then everyone at home. We are quite early riser. According to statistic, Vietnam is second earliest riser in South Asia, after Philippines, after Indonesia. Indonesia, they're Muslim. They need to wake up for a service in the morning. We wake up to do exercise, and exercise, coffee, and yeah. So that's the moment they need to pass a message around community by loudspeaker system. Yeah,
it's a cool thing that still exists. I mean, it gives you a little bit of an atmosphere. So so Reed, what was your favorite thing that you did when you were in Vietnam?
Oh wow. I was just charmed by Hoi An, and I know I'm not the only one. It's such a popular place. So I usually find that I'm attracted to things that others are not necessarily, but I just found Hoi An charming, that the river that runs through the middle, and that old Chinese style bridge, then the fishing nets, beautiful old houses, the decoration, and not so, I'd say Hoi An is not so much a place to do things as it is to just hang out. So I absolutely loved Hoi An, but I have to give second mention to the homestay in the
Mekong Delta.
Thank you. In the Mekong Delta, just because I felt that was the most genuine cultural connection experience that we had while we were there. The people, I don't know if this happens every time, but they put on a little show for us in the
Yeah,
evening.
yeah.
A woman came and sang, and the people on my group got to help prepare the dinner, and we laid around in hammocks. I just, we ate some snake meat for dinner. I really felt like we were connecting to the real Vietnam.
Yeah.
So Hoi An and Mekong, I think, were my two favorite places.
And homestay, we have to be clear, is not exactly what you think. It's not literally staying like in the bedroom of somebody's house, but it's sort of like a complex where it's an antique home that they've turned into sort of like a guest house, but the guest house is like an interactive thing where, yeah, like we did a cooking class sort of thing where we helped prepare the meal. The locals came and did music and we sang and we had, it really is more, it's like summer camp. I guess I would say it's not sleeping in somebody's house so much as it feels a little bit like summer camp. And I think that about like our Thailand homestay is kind of the same, where it's like you go there and they have a lot of fun activities like a summer camp sort of thing. So yeah, that was really cool. And I think you guys are doing 2 nights there, right? Now at the homestay?
Yeah. After your group, the feedback was pretty overwhelming that an extra night would have been appreciated there. So we responded and added a second night.
Yeah, that was really fun. And I love that the showers were outdoors because it's pretty warm. So, your shower ends up being outdoors. So tell me, Bon, how has the coronavirus played out in Vietnam? How is your country doing?
Until prior to April this year, we were rated very high, one of the most successful country in the world to deal with coronavirus. And unfortunately, from late of April till now, it's getting quite serious. And it seems that everyone. It's brilliant thing in Vietnam is that the unity, the informity of Vietnam is great. When government said, "Oh, do this," everyone do it straight away. Everyone responds straight away. Army, police, youth volunteer, they all get involved in, and so everyone just follow the order from government. If we were told to stay, we stay. Put a mask on, everyone put on mask straight away. No hassle, no one argue about it. And it's very sad to see the country in many places which were locked down. But it also is many cases make me cry because there's so much help and care from community for those who infected. They cook the food. One area were fence. And the neighbor, they bring the food in, they cook the food in, they cater the food for free. And it happens many places. We are the first one in the world to have a rice ATM free.
Rice ATM?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Need money, if you need rice, just come there free. And they got a lot of Giro market where they just come and get the food. And it doesn't cost you anything. It happened from rural area. The Saigon is quite serious now. The situation is quite serious now. A lot of people around Hue, which is about 800, nearly 1,000 kilometers away. A lot of women, they cook the food, they pack it and send it down to Saigon, to someone they never met before.
Wow.
Yes, how awesome is that? Yeah. And the government, I think they need a bit of help. And they call for last 3 weeks. They call for people donation to buy vaccine. And that till today, whole country, from company to individual, we donate money through bank account to message. And we have donated, I think about something like the number might shock you. But I may convert into the US dollars. It is a couple $100 million US dollars. I think they have donated over 6,000 billion dong.
Wow.
6,000 billion dong, which is more than 300 million US dollars to help government to buy vaccine. Yeah. And a brilliant thing that people help each other. Okay, it's and the death toll is about it claimed less than 100 lives so far.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
less than 100 lives. Yeah, and
That's amazing.
when government call, everyone listen and do it and give a helping hand. And yeah,
Like our country.
in it's just helping each other cook food, give it for free. And yeah, and some people, they show a couple of pictures that people, some kids, they skip, they try to, they every day, every now and then, they some guy even skip the breakfast and use that money to donate to government, to buy this, buy that. And the soldier, many areas in the army barrack, the soldier, they move out of the barrack and they sleep in a tent nearby, and they give the barrack to those who need help. So people come to stay there for free. Food are provided, until they were discharged from it. And at the beginning, for 1 year, no matter where they come from, you come back from overseas, you are foreigners, you got free treatment, you got a free accommodation, free food for 2 weeks. Lately, it seemed that government didn't have much money, and they asked people, okay, if possible, can you pay for it? So someone who cannot afford for it, they still got offer, they still got a free service. If someone who love to have a better service, they can choose couple hotel. The government would do overcheck, and they designate couple hotel. People can choose to stay there. They have to pay, but the majority for the poor people, it's all free service, yeah, free food, free accommodation. But above all, to see, to witness, to hear so many stories daily on newspaper, on Facebook, and on Twitter, on TikTok, that people save money, cook the food, send it away, even 100 or 1,000 kilometers away to someone who they never met before. And like in Dalat, daily Saigon block. So daily in Dalat, the hill station, they send out about 200 tons of vegetable and fruits to Saigon for free. Yeah. So that is pandemic was terrible thing. It slowed the country down, but it's great to see the solidarity, the care of people to each other, and quite many times my eyes cover in tears when I hear and read lot of moving story. Yeah. And because of that, I offer free English classes. That's a little thing I can do. And me and my son, we donate money and to those who need it. So we don't have, this year we struggle a bit, but we still feel that we are happy, we are lucky that we still find in Hue. But other part, it needs to be not serious, and the situation just get more serious from, I think, from 26th of April till now. And Saigon is under a big, it is a big lockdown at the moment. Hanoi is fine, but things very quiet. But yeah, like I mentioned above, I see so many care infection. The term country fellow would be more meaningful than ever now. You know that in some area they block, and people cannot, in the village they cannot come in and out. There's some old lady that pedal bicycle where they make lemon juice and cold lemon juice and give it for the doctor, for army officer, to police who work there. And they are very humble people, and they just do it, and they do it naturally. No one asks them to do it; they voluntarily do it. So it is sad, somehow, but it brings government and people much closer, and even among people. And I just feel that is a very great chance to see the meaningful, the country fellow affection, care for each other. I don't know how to explain it, but it is. I'm feeling quite touched now. Even if I retell you or just narrate it to you, I just narrating to you what I witnessed and what I partly engaged in.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, that is something that I don't think we've seen that in the US, people doing that. That's really neat that people have gotten together and really are taking care of each other, because I think that that seems kind of unique. So um, that would be one of the things I noticed about Vietnam for sure, was just the generosity of people. People were very generous everywhere we went, generous with their time, generous with taking care of like hospitality. I think that's a really big part. Isn't that a big part of Vietnamese culture, is hospitality? Yeah, fun.
Thank you.
Oh
I
no, it's a
think it's
question. Is that a big traditional part of Vietnamese
yeah, that
culture, the hospitality?
Vietnam is very family oriented, a very family oriented society. I think I remember telling you that I have about 600 male relatives. Yeah, so yeah, we catch up every now and then.
So
And
everybody, that's why everybody's so friendly to each other in Vietnam, because they're all related.
and earlier and thank to COVID, many things I would say due to COVID, but the one part I would say thank to COVID. 6 months ago, 6 months ago before Lunar New Year, I have a chance to see most of my relatives. I have a chance to see all the grave of my ancestors who I have no idea who they are because they're long gone 400-500 years ago. Because I stay home. I fly from Hanoi, from where I flew to Hanoi, and I catch up with my relative. I introduce who I am, and some says, "Bon, don't you have to introduce?" Because I am one of very few guys in my clan, in my family that went to university at that time. So everyone welcome me, talk to me, and come to me with a glass of rice wine. Hey, Bon, for the big day, we are here to see ancestor. I feel so cozy, and I just feel that okay. I go back to where I come from. I left home in 1990. I left my family, my birthplace in 1994, and that is the first time after 20, so over 20 years, I was able to have time to see all the grave and and catch up with my relative. And everyone just sit down, talk, and keep each other update. And in my bigger family, there's one guy who been to Harvard. Yeah, he got doctor. He got a postgrad doc. He got he got he become a doc. He's got a postdoc, a doc from Harvard. Yeah, and he after that he worked for UNDP for more than a year, and he come back here, and he's very popular because my family, a lot of people know his name, and because our family name is very rare, and somehow me and that guy look a bit alike. So everyone said, "Hi, Bon, do you know that guy?" Because he's on TV very often, and yeah, he been to Harvard. I talked to him, and yeah, so somehow we feel that we connected to American because one of my relative we share ancestor, which we many generations ago been to Harvard.
Cool. Well, and that's something that really struck me and I took away from Vietnam was the strong connection with family. That family is everything. And one of the things we saw as we drove out of Hanoi, and actually you see everywhere, are these shrines to the family. So does your family have a shrine like we saw out in the countryside?
Yeah, we do have, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just for everybody. It's not just sort of the fancy people. It's everybody of every class has a family shrine where they honor their ancestors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really have class in Vietnam. We just got rich and poor, but we have no class in Vietnam.
Yeah, that's communist.
So, no class in Vietnam.
Rich or poor.
No, because yeah, rich and poor, and even in the past, we don't really have class. The majority of Vietnamese are farmer, so yeah, we don't have we don't have a strong, I would say, yeah, class in Vietnam is just mainly the level of income you have. Yeah.
Sure.
So and even someone very wealthy, but they don't have, they sometimes they don't dare to raise a voice because they share, definitely they shared ancestor with someone much poorer than they are. They come out from same source. So it's someone very wealthy, lucky. They all what they always do thing they do is they turn around and they have their own network. They have their own family. Even like they have those who share ancestor with him or her couple hundred years ago, and they build beautiful shrine temple for ancestor. They found the education fund for their family or for the area where they come from. So that is quite a big thing. So even rich or poor, he might drive Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, but when you go to family temple, we all sit down on the same ground
Yep.
or
That's
share whatever available there. So
yeah. Well, that
and
I thought
actually
that was, go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, actually, those very rich people, when they meet, when they flock up with the with the relative, they would be very, very humble. Yeah, if they would have to be humble because they think that ancestor blessed them, ancestor give them the chance to be that successful. So it's their responsibility to turn around, to help their own network, their own cousins, distant cousin, their relative. So that's very common in Vietnam. I don't know. I never live in other countries, so I cannot make any comparison. I've been to Australia, but just as a visitors. I've been to India for 2 weeks only, so not long enough. I wish I can stay in few countries that I like for like a half year's each, so I can I can just suppose Vietnam and other countries. But yeah, I just love to travel as extensively like you guys do, so I can see ourselves better. We can mirror ourselves better.
No, I think that that's such a good point too, because the way that travel is so enriching is that we do see ourselves differently. You know, I think one of the things I took away from Vietnam is that I admire how the culture respects family ties, and they really honor their family from the past, and that's something that I'm not sure that we value that quite as much in the U.S. Well, certainly not to the level that the Vietnamese do. They take it to a completely different level, which I thought was really kind of interesting and different. So, so Reed, we're running almost out of time, but I wanted you to tell everybody what we are doing for the rest of the week for our Vietnam week.
Oh, I'm really excited about what we've got lined up for this week. You're going to be doing some sort of Vietnamese cooking tomorrow, of course, on Cucina Quarantina. And on Wednesday, and by the way, Wednesday and Thursday this week, if you want to tune in live, we'll be broadcasting in the evening because there's a 14-hour time difference here. So Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Seattle time, we're going to have Bon again. He's going to be at a coffee house in Hue to talk about the emerging coffee culture in Vietnam, something relatively new there. So we're going to hear about that. And then on Thursday evening and Friday morning for Bon is going to give us a virtual tour of his hometown there of Hue, and primarily featuring the great citadel there, which was once the seat of government for Vietnam. So we've got a couple other parts of that broadcast that I don't want to give away right now that should be pretty fun. So tune in for that if you want. And then on Friday, we're going to have a little mini Vietnamese guide roundtable with Sarah and our colleague Trish. Bon, you remember Trish. The three of us are just going to talk a little bit about our impressions of Vietnam just for 10 or 15 minutes, and then have our usual Friday PowerPoint of the tour that we do in Vietnam. So that's our big week for Vietnam coming up. Everybody tune in if you can.
Excellent. So I think that sounds like a fantastic week. And I wanted to thank you so much, Bon, for staying up to the middle of the night. What time is it now for you?
It's the earliest, only 11 p.m.
Only 11 p.m. Okay. It wasn't as bad as
and I will be up early tomorrow morning, 4:30 in the morning,
Oh.
to keep myself fit. Me and my son, we bicycle. We do bike ride every single morning,
Wow.
except Sunday. Yeah,
Wow.
6 days a week. Yes, 4:30 we wake up, 4:45 we get out of our house and we start to cycle. Yeah, we cover about not long, about 20 k's in the morning, and have breakfast somewhere en route, and go home fresh up. And every morning I do a free online English class for local kids. I really want to inspire them to study, think about bigger picture, think about bright future. And English is, as for some guys, so inspiring. They ask so many questions. And yeah, I don't mind I would say sharing is caring. So share the love. Remember what I say? Share the love.
Share the love. You know, I've used that so much, Bon. Share the love. I think that's
share the love. Yeah.
Share the love.
So yeah,
Share
and
with
yeah,
God.
so that's what I do.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
so I see you guys soon. Yep.
All right, very good. Thank you
Coffee,
so much,
okay.
Bon. So we'll see you on Wednesday, and
Yep.
we'll talk coffee, because that is a hot topic in Vietnam, is to talk coffee. So thank you
Okay,
so
yeah.
much for joining us. It's so kind of you to donate your time to us this week.
My
So
pleasure.
for everybody
Okay.
watching, again, this is Bon, and he is in Hue, Vietnam, and we're going to be focusing on Vietnam all week this week because it's so hot. We may as well imagine being somewhere exotic that's hot. So Reed, thank you also for joining us today. Any last thoughts?
No,
Okay.
just, looking forward to the rest of the week. Everybody, we'll see you then.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Bye.
Ciao. Thanks, everybody.
Xin
Bye
chào.
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.